Good morning, traders. Welcome to Flow with the Markets Tuesday, volume 171. Iliya here. Very happy to have you on this early Tuesday. 5 minutes before London Open, I intentionally waited a little bit more so we can have more price, we can have more more momentum into the morning session so we can discuss. But again, another week, another tricky markets. Yeah, Monday did not open amazingly. We had kind of a couple of opportunities or something to take, but not really. Very unclean. And right now, Tuesday is starting with a massive pump or a massive dump. Depends on the pair, right? I personally think this is, we had a speech from an ECB member this morning who said that they're gonna be continuing raising the rates, but in a more stable and flexible manner, right? And that they said also something about their target rate being around 2%, which I'm not sure what exactly it means, but it looks like investors are meeting this one with a lot of great sentiment and stuff. And we just had another massive expansion on EU, for example, this morning. Economic calendar this week, we don't have much news, like something very, very important. I think we have GDP for the euro today. Yep, so there we go. We have GDP today for the euro, which is nice. We had some unemployment rate right there for UK this morning, and although it's higher than expected, right, it's negative. UK also the GBP also pushed, right? So I'm not sure what exactly is driving the market right now. Maybe you know, let me know. But unfortunately, no setups. So I'm just gonna go onto the charts right now and have a look at the analysis that we've done on Saturday and what we can expect for the remaining of the week. So DXY continues to drop lower, and this is pretty much my forecast, which actually looks quite textbook, honestly, right? So we had a very nice pullback. I have even nailed the lines. Wow. I should just start listening to my lines when I draw them on Saturday and then just set the limit order right there. Now I'm joking, of course. We're tapping inside a very big weekly zone right now, but as I told you, this does not mean much. Right, that does not mean much because it can just give us this reaction and then it can just continue going lower, right? So keep following the hourly time frame. And right now what we simply have is a new break of structure, right? We have a brand new, let's say, a level of a supply zone right there. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep shorting until I'm wrong. That's it. Unfortunately, no, it's, yeah, not really unfortunately, because we're gonna have setups. It's just Tuesday. Right now, the market just opened with a massive bang. Right, so there is nothing to be looking at precisely right now. What I'm going to be looking for is either for a deep pullback right there or for a new lower high to be created, new lower low, and then I just continue following it until I'm wrong. Right, that is pretty much the plan on Dixie. Yesterday, we started with a nice Asian range manipulation. Then we had this supply zone. I waited for this one to tap it and to grab some liquidity. It came in, then yeah, I avoided the loss yesterday on EU by simply looking at the DXY, which I'm very happy. I had this zone right there and I was looking for the market to actually tap this zone. And when it tapped, it just pumped up. Then we shifted structure right here. We shifted structure, lower high, lower low, and then lower high, and we just continue dropping lower. So very good delivery, actually. We pull back for a 4-hourly lower high. We aligned the 50-minute as well. The 50-minute started making lower highs, and we are currently going down. So that's very nice. Unfortunately, precisely right now, the market is just dumping, so we cannot do anything. Don't try to go on the left and try to spot the low or spot a demand zone or whatever you spot and try to go long. Please don't. Could work out, but don't do this. Keep following the flow until you're wrong, right? So that's the Dixie short. And if I just go to EU again, as I always tell you, when the market starts to trend with momentum, and pretty much I think this is the first push of the Elliott wave series. So here we have a reversal. Technically, for a moment the market turned bearish, which means that this is my first push, first pullback, third, fourth, right? Fifth, I should say. So this is what I would expect to happen. And again, we drew this zone, we drew that zone, but I pretty much knew they're not going to get retested. But unfortunately, it did not provide an entry for me yesterday during New York right here. So we had a push, we had a pullback. So if some of you are entering from here somehow, maybe on the 1 minute, or maybe you just take a trade and stop loss below, I don't know. This is the trade yesterday, right there. Some of you could have taken some shorts right there. I didn't see any shorts, so no setups for me at all yesterday, right? So yes, right now we pretty much aligned right here, but as we aligned around 6 o'clock, the market just chopped around and it started with a massive expansion and it actually just keeps going, right? So all I can say for Euro USD right now is similar to the Dixie. We have, of course, a 4-hourly zone right now, right? But I don't think it makes sense to pull back to that zone right now because that is going to be like 100 pips pullback, right? What I think could happen is we're going to have like a pullback right now on the 50-minute range, maybe again push, then pull back and then continue following it. Okay, so I'm just looking for a new 50-minute structure to form and just keep following it until I'm wrong, right? Yes, the following higher high is created, we can expect a deeper pullback, but it can just continue going with momentum. Currently it's Tuesday and Tuesday is usually tricky. It can also set up the weekly high and low, but look at this. So we started, we created the wick to the downside, very nice, and right now it just looks like it wants to expand, right? So I do think we continue pushing higher, and then maybe even on Thursday and Friday we created a little bit of a pullback, right? To maybe form the top wick. So I would expect this one to continue going higher. Where to? Well, again, you can try to catch the top and maybe draw a weekly supply like this and say, okay, this is where I would expect for the market to go. Cool, right? Some of you also in the comments pointed out this supply. Is it valid? Well, could be, right? If I just drop a couple of random lines right there, you're going to see, oh, responded here, responded there. Oh, look at that support, support, support. Ah, look at that resistance and stuff, right? You can draw a line everywhere and the market can potentially react, but it's about your rules. So if this is a valid zone to you, great, right? Use it, but use it systematically. So yeah, currently that's pretty much my outlook. I'm keep looking for longs. I don't consider shorts at all. Well, maybe if the market like makes this and then starts shifting lower, then I can only consider a short as a pullback trade to the 4-hourly range, but that's it for now. Nothing much. Euro JPY, let's see what happens on the 4-hourly time frame first. Wow, I have quite a few scenarios on this one, and so the short tried to play it out. So this scenario did not play out right there. It pulled back, tapped into supply, rejected it, but then it just broke it, right? So currently this is in play right now, this one, the bullish scenario, because we have broken above supply, which is also creating technically a 4-hourly trend change. So we are reversing to the highs, right? So you can, of course, try to spot your demand zone. I don't know how we're gonna draw it right there. Probably I have to use a different, yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. Tricky, right? It's that's pretty much it. So if I drop to the 50-minute time frame, it broke the lows right there, but right now it is aligning bullish. It aligned bullish right here, but then bullish again. Ah, man. Oh, guys, I'm a very patient guy. I'm very patient. I can wait for 2 weeks for my setup to come in, but even I'm starting to grow impatient because it's so hard to analyze. It's so hard to get in. I haven't taken a good trade in like 2 weeks or something, so it's not good. Break of structure here, break of structure there, break of structure here. Shift bearish right there, but look at the shift. Massive wick and it's already up there. So technically to my rules, you can be looking to short right there, but it just doesn't make sense at all. We are in the middle of nowhere. We have already pulled back into 4-hourly demand. Rather, we've taken liquidity. So I say that this one is just bullish, right? But as I told you also on the weekly outlook, JPYs right now don't work out great because have a look at EU. Look where EU is and look at Euro JPY. It's chops, right? So why would you trade a JPY pair right now when USD JPY is plummeting, right? So again, I think I'm just going to go for a skip on the JPYs. Aussie dollar, yep, you can see I expected a deeper pullback. Not at all. It just created a little pullback. Actually, even yesterday, it broke the high. Right now, a little pullback and continues to push. So first target in this big weekly supply is achieved, right? So I thought this is going to get taken. Very good. We got taken. But again, you have no reason to go short. The market is just breaking high right now. New 4-hourly structure break. New 4-hourly demand zone. Dropping on the 50-minute massive expansion. So once again, we can wait for the retest down there, right? And then look for the 50-minute to start trending up. Or we can wait for a clean pullback, new 50-minute structure up until we're wrong, right? Until it breaks the higher low. So that's it. I keep following the 50-minute right now until wrong. And then if we're wrong, then that means a pullback is initiating. So then I can even trade the pullback, then shift, and then we can continue going long again. So that's the plan. No setups right now. It's just in the push phase. And I would even actually delete this zone because that is a very big zone and you do not know where the market is going to stop. How do you know the market is going to reverse? By the 4-hourly shifting to bearish. Okay, so stay patient. Don't try to pick the top. Follow the trend. Aussie JPY. So we had that same pullback into the zone. The market looks like it's responded, but at the end, we actually broke above it. So we have to adapt on this one. There is our structure break. A trend change actually, because we shifted the 4-hourly from bearish to bullish. We had a little bit of a pullback, and there we have another one just being made right now, which means that we can have also a brand new demand zone right now being created, and this market is bullish. Although it's very tricky right now, the positioning is very tricky. Like this is still part of the push phase that is breaking the high, right? And technically the market is right now responding from this, which is part of the valid range, which is this guy, right? So this push is the 50-minute push that also caused the 4-hourly break. So this demand zone right there is strong, and as you can see, we tapped, we massively rejected, and it could be that no, we don't have a 1-minute setup yet. Like look at the tap and look at the correction, right? And we don't have even a trend change. So no, even if you want to trade a JPY, you don't get a setup. So what is my plan on this one? Well, it either comes again and provides a 1-minute setup from this zone. If this zone breaks, then I will be looking for a new 50-minute alignment and go. If this holds and breaks up, then I'm going to be holding, following like this. Okay, so that's pretty much AJ. But I said I'm going to be skipping the JPYs, but then I should be skipping the USDs as well because they're the same, right? So we have a break structure right there. We can draw a brand new demand zone. 50-minute massive push right now, starting to have a little bit of bearishness. So yeah, either wait for this zone to tap or wait for the market to create a high low, high on the 50-minute, and then just keep following it. That's the plan, nothing more, right? And it could be a day without trades, right? It's also Tuesday. So imagine that this is the weekly high and we get a reversal from here. Cool, well, then I start shorting from tomorrow, okay? I shift my bias probably 2 to 3 times per day because I'm an intraday trader and I trade on the 50-minute, right? But I always focus on the 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, we can see NJ as usual stronger. First break, second break, and very clean breaks, right? Look at the bullishness. Look at the bullishness here as well. A brand new demand zone. So probably the same situation as AJ, although not the same because in this example, we broke below this low. So to me right now, a long is invalid because the 50-minute is bearish. So what I'm going to be looking for is for the market to come in again, maybe make a couple of 50-minute bearish structures, and then to shift and then to go. Okay, so that is my NJ. Currently, don't long because to me right now, technically tomorrow's this has reversed bearish, unlike AJ, for example. What you can do is, of course, if it decides to hold and breaks above, then this is going to be bullish alignment, and then I start following it bullish. So there are my 2 scenarios on NJ, but I'm overall looking for longs, right? That's the main conclusion. However, be aware that anything can happen right now. So UJ looks very good. So we did not pull back towards the supply. And as I told you, the market does not pull back in such volatile markets. This, however, is a valid 4-hourly range. So I can drop a pip like this and you can see 50% pink. Very nice. And right now we're starting to potentially reverse. So dropping onto the 50-minute, the market has definitely aligned bearish even from here, even from there. It came in, respected this, and here it broke up, broke down. Very good short right there. Maybe some of you early birds, oh, if you shorted this one, you're a king. Look at that. Because that is a pretty valid setup right there. And yes, right now we have just a massive push to the downside. You can take a nice supply zone like this. And again, you either look for the market to pull back to this, or you wait for the market to pull back, lower high, lower low, and then you just keep following the structure like this. Okay. I don't think this one is going higher, right? It wouldn't really make sense. We had a very nice pullback. We had kind of an accumulation. Yes, this one, these highs right there look pretty flat. They look like a nice trend line to get taken out. But actually the trend line got taken because if you draw trend lines, you will draw it like this, like from this high to this high, right? And there is your reaction. There is the fake out, and then we go. Right? So technically, I do think enough liquidity has been generated. We pull back to 50%. So it doesn't, why I say this, because it doesn't make sense to me for us to pull back higher. But who knows? We might do this. But for now, I keep following the flow. Massive lower low right now. Again, we either can pull back into the highs and then get a short right there, or we create a new lower high right now, lower low, and then we just continue following the trend. Okay. UCAD, let's see my forecast on this one. Oh, I should start maybe trading UCAD. Look at this. My line on this one was not precise, right? But still, we tapped into supply. Let's see if we actually gave a shift. Yeah, maybe early this morning. Yeah, pretty much early this morning. It came in, took out these flat highs, took them out very nicely. Then it aligned the structure right there, and it quickly gave a retest right here. Quickly gave a short right there. Another break of structure right there. Another kind of pullback for a short, and then again 6 o'clock it just expanded lower. So currently we are in a push phase on the 4-hourly. So potentially the 4-hourly is traveling towards this lower low. What we should be focusing right now is getting into a short and catching that train, right? So again, right now we don't have a lot of valid stuff to trade off of. Here we have a little bit of a base. Have a little base right there. But what the market could do, as I keep telling you, is give us a little pullback, break, and then I'm going to be just following the most recent ones, right? And just trying to catch the short because it's potentially traveling towards this lower low, right? And as long as we're above it, you can of course try to catch a short and then ride it towards it, right? But when the market, this is why I'm better at trading corrections. I'm better at trading this price action because it's slower. It creates a lot of liquidity gaps and it gives you a good entry. While if you're trading with a continuation on the 4-hourly time frame, the market just stops and massively explodes, right? This is why we have like pushes, corrective pullbacks. And as it starts and as it reaches the pullback, massive push, right? And usually you get only one chance, maybe two chances to catch a short right there. While on the long side of things, right there, you get so many opportunities to trade the pullback. And this is why I actually have, even in my stats, you won't believe it, but I have a higher win rate on my counter trend trades than I have on my continuation trades, right? And a friend of mine even joked your YouTube, you should make a YouTube video. The trend is not your friend, right? It just sounds ridiculous, but to me, that's the case. GU pulled back actually into demand right now, and it's starting to react. So this is the only pair that actually had a recent demand zone and actually tapped inside, which is very good. We tapped inside, we reacted, and potentially, yeah, if you manage to catch a long on this one, then great, right? Here, yesterday, took out the low, took out the high. This is why I don't like GU. Takes out the low, then takes out the high, then takes out the low again, and just madness, right? But right now, same thing. A nice push into the highs. Last demand is here, right? So you either wait for this demand to tap or you wait for the market to create a pullback, high, and then just keep following the flow, right? And again, yeah, potential target is this. So as long as we're below it, we can try to catch a long and then ride it towards this high. So let's see if this happens. GJ, a good analysis. It pulled back here, and unlike the other JPYs, this one is still within the range. So this one is still bearish on the 4H, which is good. So it came in first, responded and came in, chopped for a bit right there. Then it came in, actually retested the zone like this. Because we technically shifted bearish here, but then we shifted back bullish here, but then we shifted back bearish here, right? So what actually caused the bearish shift, it's this. And this is why this got respected, right? So I'm just throwing a couple of hidden keys that I have, right? So right now we are again aligning bearish. So if you're looking to short this pair, then for example, this is going to be your lower high supply, and you can be looking for a pullback here and short, or you can be looking for a new lower low. Okay, that was actually valid. So this is your first opportunity. This is your second opportunity, right? So if you break below this zone, we have a 15-minute break, then you have to adapt to the new range. So that's GJ. It's the only pair that actually looks shorts on the only JPY pair that looks like short. Like look, EJ going for the high, AJ potentially giving a long, NJ is a little bit tricky, but GJ is the strongest. Okay, gold also very nice expansion, very nice. And look at that, textbook pullback towards the zone, and some pairs right now probably are in the season for trading. Like look at the flat lows right there, all of those got taken, but unfortunately this one, why I do not trade gold is because it does not work well with my strategy. So yeah, it doesn't give entries usually. It's very volatile, it's very fast, and I don't like fast pairs, right? So very nice push, and same thing right now, massive pump into the highs, creating a new high. You can take this whole range as a very big demand zone. And what you can do is either wait for a new range to form like this, or wait for this one to tap and catch a long. That's it. US 30, yeah, still stuck in this. So I'm waiting on this one. I'm waiting. It responded from demand. It failed to take out the high right now. And the 50-minute aligned bearish overnight. Very nice bearish alignment. So technically right now in US 30, we're trading within this range. This push and this sort of pullback. So I would expect for it to go short. We have this base to maybe trade off of. You can see it's already responding from here, but I wouldn't really rush it right now because it can pull back even higher. If I drop a 50%, I do think this zone is within 50%. Okay, yeah, it is. We haven't tapped it yet. Give it some time, right? Give it some time. It can pull back a little bit, and especially indices right now, very uncertain. Very uncertain. So I'm looking for New York to open. Nasdaq, very nice pullback, very nice reaction. Actually went on and wicked the high right there, which is good. So we actually had a new high, and yeah, I can see it wicked it and it returned back to what actually caused it, which is this, held, and right now it's in this kind of push phase. So you can see US 30 aligned bearish, but Nasdaq is bullish. So again, we're having divergence between the indices right now, which is not great. So wait on it, be careful. S&P usually more correlated to US 30, shift of structure to the downside, and right now in a pullback, say similar zone right there. But of course, the stronger zone is gonna be up there. When US 30 had a 45-minute zone, yeah, we have the same zone right there. So that's the indices. That's the indices. I am currently not striking them because they're in a very delicate zone. It's very big. They're starting to accumulate a little bit, so it's probably cooking for something. So give it some time. Be careful. But of course, intraday, you can catch some longs and some shorts. Bitcoin to 12K, Ethereum as well. So yes, right now, nothing much. EU keeps pumping. It keeps pumping. It keeps forming bullish candles without a stop. Look at it. So I'm just waiting for something right now. AU is already initiating the pullback. NU is already initiating a pullback. So once again, we can have like a pullback, then a high, then I keep following. And if not, I'm going to be waiting for this zone. UJ also in a pullback right now. GU also starting to pull back. So again, guys, it's Tuesday. Tuesday is, like Paul says, like Easter eggs. You don't know what to expect, but what I can tell you and what really works is to keep following the flow, right? Don't try to go on the left right now. Oh, daily zone, I'm gonna take a short. No, because the market is just gonna give you a response from that short, and then it's gonna push up, and you're like, okay, why didn't it work out? Okay, so keep following the flow, keep following your main time frames. So you should have a strategy like your macro, your meso, and your micro time frames. So make sure to have that in place. And yes, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm very busy this week with deadlines and stuff as well, so I'm probably not going to be focused trading. Of course, I'm monitoring the charts and looking for setups, but looking at how the week is starting, I guess it's going to be another shitty one. So fortunately, that's it. We got to be patient, and then we got to just wait for the market to provide us the setups, right? It's a patience game. You're not going to be making money every month, right? This is why trading is an uncertain business, because you can make 10% this month. Next month, you can lose 5%, right? And if you solely rely on trading, you're going to be stressed out. Okay, so enough of my rant. Hopefully you enjoyed the analysis. Let me know if you did. Let me know what are your thoughts on this week. What kind of opportunities are you going to be looking for? I wish you a crushing week ahead of you, and see you maybe on Saturday.